Hi, friends. Tickets for our fall tour, the No Takes Left Behind tour, are on sale now. I don't know if we're going to be adding any second shows this time around just because fall is so busy for us. We've got ponies at home now, so be sure to get your tickets. We are so excited to see you guys. We're mixing it up. Each show has different stories. No show is the same. It is truly a one-of-a-kind experience, and it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. So check out the link in the description if you want to come join us. I can't wait to see you guys there. Enjoy the episode. Okay, we're recording on everything. We're not going to lose anything today. It's going to be great.
But no, I went to the first one that you put up on the YouTube, and it was so funny how blurry. There was like no detail you could see because I think it was with iPhone, right?
This podcast, I first started recording on like an iPhone 8.
Yeah.
Like it was my iPhone 8. Like we have come a long way, friends.
It's just funny because I didn't notice because it kind of like I don't always watch back because a lot of times I don't watch it back actually.
No, I just listened to the first episode and I was cringing.
Yeah.
I was cringing so hard.
But no, it was so interesting to see how the quality is so much better.
It's wild.
But
we've come a long way. It means so much that you guys stuck it out. We're all here still together.
I think someone came up to us at the show, and what did she say? She was like, I couldn't listen to, like, she's like the edit, or I can't remember what she said. She was like, the quality was so bad in the beginning. Like, thanks for making it better. Remember? And we were kind of like,
it's like, damn.
Thanks.
Damn.
Yeah.
It was funny though, because I've always been like told like my audio at the time when I started was so much better than other people's audio. But you even see how far it's come now, and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got the goods now.
We got the goods, baby.
Yeah.
And we got the wine. We had Lemon Perfect. We got the blinkies. We just took the little ponies for a walk.
So cute.
Auntie Lauren got to supervise.
Yeah. I posted it on my Instagram, so you guys can see the little horsies there.
The ponies.
They're so cute.
You got to add it to like a highlight ponies. Get a pony
that's
highlight
so true.
going.
Yeah. Why am I?
I'm like, it'll be
talking
gone
as if it's like coming out right
tomorrow.
now. Yeah.
It'll be gone by then.
Yeah.
But how should we explain the theme today? We were really brainstorming back and forth on it. And Lauren sent a story, and I read the title and I was like, yep, okay, cool. And I think I started and I was like, ooh, like a siblings or are they dating theme would be really good. But then I'm like, okay, that might just be a little bit
pigeonholed,
too much incest.
Oh, that's fair
for people to handle in one day. So we then were like, too close for comfort.
Yeah,
is I think where we're going. So kind of family and friend dynamics that are just too close for comfort. Is something going on? Is something not going on? Like what's here? But like people are a little too close and I'm uncomfy.
It's so ironic too that this is the theme because yesterday I was hanging out with some of our friends and one of them was saying how she'd have no problem being intimate with her cousin. Not actually her cousin, like someone that she knew, but we were talking about if you were to find out that you have a relative out there that you didn't know, and if she were to find out that she was intimate with her cousin, she's like, I wouldn't care.
Well, if you don't know at the time of the sexual intimacy, but if you go into it knowing.
Yeah.
We'll get into it. We have one of those today.
Okay.
We'll get into it. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Let's dive in.
Let's do it.
Okay, we are starting off today with the one Lauren found.
I don't even remember it either, so I'm actually excited to hear it again.
Okay, so this one is coming from AITAH. It is 4 days old, titled, My wife wants me to return back my sister's wedding gift because she thought our sibling dance was too intimate. My wife, 26 female, and I, 28 male, got married a couple of months ago. The wedding was amazing. We also went on an amazing honeymoon. Everything went great, and we have settled into our nice married life. However, last night, my wife wanted to talk about something serious. We don't shy away from expressing our emotions and insecurities to each other. She brought up our wedding And she talked about how my sibling dance with my sister, 26 female, was too intimate. I first thought my wife was joking, but I quickly realized she was serious. I asked her if anyone else at the wedding thought that, and she said no, but because everyone was too scared to say it. I told her that's a straight up lie, and I have close friends who would have said something, but they didn't. Everyone had a good time at the wedding, and nothing seemed out of the ordinary. My sister and I have never really shied away from affection. We know some siblings get awkward with that, but we are the opposite of that. My wife asked if we could give my sister's wedding gift back to her as we haven't used it yet. It's a La Marzocco GS3 espresso machine, which is by far the most expensive gift we have gotten out of all of the gifts. My wife said the gift just made her feel insecure. I told my wife she was being completely irrational, and that's the most ridiculous thing she has ever said. I was probably a bit crude with my words, but I just thought the whole thing was ridiculous. She then dropped the topic, and we carried on like normal. We also used the espresso machine for the first time today, and it's pretty amazing. Was I an asshole for telling my wife she was being ridiculous?
Ooh, what do you think?
So I'm going to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of a sibling dance at a wedding before.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen one in person?
No.
You hear like it's very,
Yeah.
and maybe it's a different culture.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not sure. It's not mentioned any traditions, culture aspects on this, whatever. But typically here in the States, there's like a father of the bride dance, like the bride dances with her dad. And then, so the groom has something, the groom will dance with his mom.
Mm-hmm.
But a sibling dance?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well, there also could be potentially maybe they don't have their mom in their life, maybe.
That
So
would
maybe
be-
that's kind of like what they did instead. There's a lot of detail that is lacking. So
I Googled it real quick. Yeah, that's an idea. Whether you've lost a parent or you're incredibly close with your brother or sister, dancing with your sibling at your wedding reception is an extraordinarily special moment that you'll cherish for years to come. That's coming from The Knot.
Yeah.
25 brother-sister song ideas for your wedding.
Right. Well, so because this,
So it's out there.
yeah. So and this, I actually think the only thing that made me kind of question is when he said that me and my sister don't shy away from affection. So that makes me think that
They're kissing on the lips.
well, or that and. And some people also are okay with that.
Yeah,
like there
no,
was a celebrity that
that's a
like
big thing.
kissed her brother on the lips. I forget who, but like people made such a big deal about
Angelina.
it. And she was like, honestly, my parents thought it was such a beautiful, sweet moment. And that's all that matters. Like, I don't care what everyone else thinks. Like, I love my family. Like, that's end of story. So I do think that like everyone is different. It's hard for me to relate to it because it's like me and my siblings are so not touchy,
Yeah.
So it's like,
I'm not either.
yeah. So I don't personally relate, but I also understand that people have different dynamics. And I do know people who will like, I have some friends that are sisters and sometimes they'll like kind of cuddle up next to each other when they're watching movies and stuff. Like they're very close and it's not weird,
That doesn't seem weird to me. I just can't personally at this point in my life, I can't imagine being one to like kiss my brothers on the lips. Like that to me just doesn't feel normal. But like I didn't grow up with that.
Right.
I wish culturally we were like French people. I would love to do a mwah, mwah. Like I love that. Like
I think it's cute too.
I think that's so cute.
Whenever
And
people do that to me though, I get really caught off guard and I like don't know what to do. And I follow a lead. I'm like, and I swear they can tell that I'm so stiff and that I don't do this often. I'm like,
I want to bring that. Like we can start doing that when we see each other. Mwah, mwah, or bye,
Okay.
mwah, mwah. We'll try it out tonight.
okay, we'll try it tonight.
But I'm like, I think that's so
we actually go opposite directions and kiss on the lips. We're like, well, rip that Band-Aid off.
But I'm surprised we've never like drunkenly made out.
Yeah.
But I haven't done that. Like the only friend I did that with was like Alex Hansen.
Really?
Yeah.
You say first and last name.
Alex.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think that was in high school though. Or maybe it wasn't Alex. Maybe it was Katie.
Wow. I don't know why, but I just like can't picture it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while.
But anyway.
Been a while since I kissed a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So that threw me off. And I think that comment you pointed out too is a really good one. Like, we've never shied away from affection, which I do think that's beautiful. But I'm just curious.
But I'm wondering what that
Just
means
curious.
and what that means for if the wife has kind of little by little feeling weird about the affection that
Yeah.
they share with each other.
And the dance pushed it over the edge.
Exactly. But then here's where I think it's odd on the wife's end. So do you think it's incest, or why would you want to return a gift? That's where I'm like, okay, that feels like it doesn't make sense.
I'm never returning a gift. I'm never going to turn something down.
Oh, I forgot to open the little guy baby. Oh, I have to wait.
Well, you can open it at the end when we say goodbye.
I know.
People will love to know. Okay. Can you take a guess how much this espresso machine was?
How much?
If it's this same model, which I believe it is, La Marzocco, however you say it, GS3 in stainless steel. It's from Seattle Coffee Gear. $7,900.
What the heck? They better open their own barista, because what the heck?
I'm never giving that back.
Oh my God. But at the same time, maybe that's why, because she didn't want to feel like indebted. Like, that's a huge gift. That would make me feel kind of like you know when people are like, I can't accept this, it's too much.
You'd feel indebted.
Kind of
Yeah.
like, it kind of feels like that. Like, this is too much.
I love presents. No matter how big or small. And if it's this, like, hell no, it's going to get framed on a shelf.
Yeah.
Wiped down every day.
That's so funny.
There's another model of it that has like a fancier color, and it's $9,000.
I was going to guess 1,000. Like, that's crazy.
These
That
people,
is
she's a little
crazy.
baller. Good for her.
Yeah.
Giving her brother a $9,000, $8,000 coffee machine.
Yeah.
Espresso machine.
But okay, back to the whole issue though. I don't think his question is, am I the asshole for being so crude?
For telling my wife she was being ridiculous.
I don't think he's the asshole for that, because if it's something he's grown up with, and then if someone were to come at you and like question, like, you and Matt, like, you guys seem like you want to date each other. Like, you actually seem like you want to make out with Matt. Wouldn't you be like,
I'd be weirded out.
you'd be like, screw you.
You're being ridiculous.
Yeah,
That's my brother. Come on.
Yeah. But I think that if it's something that she's like not comfortable with, it also is kind of odd to me that they haven't, I mean,
How has it not come up
how has it not
sooner?
come up before? It's like,
Yeah.
maybe she wasn't comfortable until he was like locked in.
I know. I'm really curious. Like, I wonder if there's any comments from OP like describing what this dance looked like. Account's been suspended. Okay, so it is interesting because I can't see OP's comments directly on the account, but I am seeing some replies from people. And I think because of OP's account being in bad standing with Reddit, I think the original comments from him got removed.
Okay.
But people are saying, I feel like we need more context. Like, genuinely, how can one make a distinction without seeing the dance?
Yeah.
Sure, maybe your wife is crazy, but you're also on Am I the Asshole? Asking about your brand new wife right after your wedding. And I think that's weird. Was this a nice tango? Was there grinding? Can we get a description? And someone else replies to that.
I didn't even think about grinding.
Well, someone else goes, multiple slow dances with your sister is weird. And another comment, and I think they're replying to OP. In your comments, you say you danced to numerous slow love songs together. 2 of them being the top 2 love songs on most husband and wife first dance to on their wedding night. Dude, get the fuck out of here with your weird, I want to fuck my sister fetish.
Oh.
So that I will say, if that's true, and OP was one, I think more than one dance with your sister, I think it's weird. I'm just going to say it. I do think that's weird. I think if you're close with your siblings, beautiful. One dance I'm on board for. It better not include grinding. I think that's too far.
Yeah.
But multiple dances, you're kind of starting to steal the thunder from the bride.
Mm-hmm. That is interesting.
And slow love
dances.
songs.
Yeah. No, that's a little odd. Have you ever felt odd about someone who you're dating and their relationship with their sister?
No, oddly, 2 don't have sisters. one had a sister, but she was like 17 years older. And the other had a sister that was like 7 years younger. So I was like, I've gotten really lucky with this dynamic and not having to experience it.
Yeah. There was like the only time that I was kind of like, and looking back, I don't think anything of it at all now. But I was with this guy who I was going on a few dates with and his dad. And his dad was like, oh, you should take Lauren to XYZ. And he like shot back so fast and he goes, no, I'm going with my sister. And I was like, oh my God, are you in love with her or something? Like, I don't know what, like, gosh. I don't know. First, like, it's funny because now I do not think that. But in the moment because to me, I'm like, when you're going on the first few dates, you're so excited to like go on more dates. And so for the dad to offer, be like, recommend something and to be like, no chance, I'm going with my sister. Well, I was like, calm down.
It doesn't have to be that crazy either. It can just be I already told Kathy.
I already promised sister that I would go. It was like,
weird.
How dare you bring that up? I'm going with sister. Dad, you asshole.
That's strange.
It was that kind of like, no. I'm like, but other than that, I've never, that's thoughts never crossed my mind ever.
Oh, top comment on this one. I need to see the wedding video. Maybe it will be viral by next week. I feel like this is some sort of sneaky ad for that espresso machine. LOL. What the fuck? Just
Can
be
you
glad.
imagine?
Well, do you remember we've talked about this in the past? Because this comment goes, just be glad sis didn't give him Folgers coffee. Because remember that incestuous sibling Folgers coffee commercial?
No.
It was really weird.
Oh my God, I need to look this up now.
There's a Folgers commercial where it's like, oh my God, I'm so glad you're home or something. And they just like, it gives incest.
Oh God.
It gives incest.
So what, we think he's a weirdo? Is that what the world, not the world, the internet?
Brought something from far away.
Really?
He bit his lip. Oh.
What are you doing?
You're my present this year.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
See? He's back.
You have to leave.
What?
Wait, what's happening now?
This is like an extended cut. Someone like spoofed it to make it funnier.
No, how? Are you sure it wasn't a parody all along?
It might have been. I don't know. I clicked the link. Someone put on. I don't think that was a parody though.
But I'm like, how could you get the actors to keep playing on like with that?
I don't know. We're gonna find the real one just to be sure.
Oh my God.
Your reaction was so good. No, Lauren, that's the same thing.
That's hilarious.
It was a 2009 Folgers commercial.
They had to have done that on purpose. Oh, so that's how it.
We're gonna have to link the one we accidentally pulled up because someone like spoofed it and used AI or something because they're like about to make out.
Oh my God.
I was like, how did Folgers get away with this?
Literally, dude, AI is scary.
Dead. What's that stuff?
You can't trust anything anymore.
And literally, it was the same people.
It was the same.
So, like, what?
How would they do that? That's insane.
That was crazy.
Whew.
Yeah, so a lot of people are talking about that. Someone goes, I demand a sibling dance tax. Surely multiple people took videos.
So true.
You know what I think is going to happen with this one?
What?
I think OP's wife is going to find this and she's going to post it on TikTok and she's going to be like,
how my marriage lasted 5 days.
The reason why I got an annulment.
Yeah.
My ex-husband now wants to have sex with his sister and she loves him so much and wanted to demonstrate that. She got him an $8,000 espresso machine.
Oh my God. She's going to be on TikTok. Put a finger down if you ever decided to marry someone who actually really wanted his sister. And yeah, no, I can see it.
This is 100% going to happen. It's crazy to me what some of the brides will post about their own wedding. Like the one bride that it was just like a beautiful wedding. It looked like it was in like Lake Como, Italy, insane looking wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And the groom all of a sudden pops champagne bottle and then takes it and is shaking it right in her face.
Oh my
It
God.
sprays
Oh, I think
all
I've
over
seen
her.
that. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure like one of them was the one to post it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would be confiscating everyone's phones. No one would have that video. I would say, we're going to run it back. We're going to do it again. This time you're the one getting sprayed, you little bitch.
See, if it was at the end of the night, I actually would find humor in it. But like if I wasn't done taking pictures, I'd knock him out.
It was like at the cake cutting. They were having a whole night of dancing after that.
That's a problem.
I really love when people at the end of the night will like jump into a pool
Yeah.
or jump into an ocean. I
Yeah.
think that's so cool. But to get champagne sprayed in your face? Nope. It's summer. What if the bees come at me?
That's a fair fear.
Ants? I don't want to be bombarded with ants. I am not dealing with that.
You're making great points here, Morgan.
And wedding makeup costs a lot of money.
I know. That's why I also was thinking, I'm like, what if that was planned and they had like the makeup artist on with the little brushes in hand, like ready to go
They
at
just
any
wanted
moment.
to rage bait people.
Yeah. I mean, with TikTok, you never know. People
Yeah.
kind of like, I feel like people post on TikTok like thinking that there's a chance that it might go viral every single time they post.
I think so.
you know?
I could totally see that now.
Yeah.
I think people have like grown accustomed to
Potentially going viral.
rage baiting.
There's like so many people that I know who like are like they've never had like a social media following or whatever. And I'll like randomly come across them on TikTok and like one of their videos just got like 700,000 likes. So I feel like it could be like a wedding situation where they're like, we're going to post this, get a ton of likes. It's going to be hilarious. Everyone's going to get to see our wedding.
True. I mean, there's one way to pay for a wedding. Join the TikTok Creator Fund. I've never made $1 on TikTok.
I actually was just thinking that because I was like, do people actually get paid when they get like a ton of views on TikTok?
I know like some other creators make like $4,000 a month on TikTok.
I saw this guy posted and he was saying that he's like, will you please make this viral so that I can do XYZ because TikTok will pay me X amount for however many views. So he's
Yeah.
like, if there's millions, if there's millions of people that watch it,
Yeah.
then apparently they get paid. But you just said you didn't. So
I
I'm
never know because there was so much conversation where it's like, if you're in the TikTok Creator Fund, your videos will get like shadow banned because they don't want to pay.
like,
So I just never joined it because I was like,
oh,
I need my podcast
to
get out there.
Get out there, yeah.
So I never
Okay.
joined it.
Okay.
And then I don't know.
Well,
Maybe I should try it now.
yeah,
but-
look into it.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah. Podcast is out here now.
We here, baby.
We're here now.
Okay, we're gonna move along to this one. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. I will just say that. This is coming from r/IamA. So it's essentially a subreddit where the mundane becomes fascinating and the outrageous suddenly seems normal. So you basically like, I am a woman with a horse in my backyard. Ask me anything. It's kind of an ask me anything sub.
Okay.
So this post is coming from 14 years ago.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was
How old were you?
16 at the time when this came out. It's wild to think about, right?
Facebook was booming. I can't remember anymore.
MySpace was like
But MySpace was starting to die.
just dying out.
Yeah.
I loved doing HTML and like your friends list and your favorite song. The stuff we would post. I am feeling sad today.
Oh my
Why?
God.
I was such an emo kid. Like I had the peekaboo dyed black under. Like I was going to Spencer's buying the studded belts. Like I was in it deep.
Do you ever see like trends that are happening right now or like people posting certain videos about stuff that you're like, will this be cringy in 10 years or not?
Everything will be.
Yeah. And I
cringed at our first episode. Everything turns cringy eventually. Give it enough time.
Oh my God. I just love how our first episode, like we sounded so similar. Why? I don't know how, but like that was like everyone's feedback. And when I listen back to it, I'm like, dude, we do sound so similar. And now when we record, I don't feel that. Well, then again, I don't really listen back anymore because I can't handle it sometimes.
I don't really listen back anymore because I can't handle it sometimes.
Yeah, no, I'm like, Lauren, no, you're wrong. You missed that point. And then I'm like, Lauren, get to the fucking point. I criticize myself way too hard. I can't.
Let's get to the point, Lauren. Let's get to the point, Lauren. So this
Fuck. Just cut all that out. That was way too much.
So this post is, again, 14 years old, titled, I am sleeping with my biological brother. Ask me anything.
I forgot where I was. I didn't know that. Oh my God. You were like, I am Morgan with a horse in my backyard. And I'm like, okay, so cool. I wasn't. Wow.
I am 19. My brother is 21. We've been having sex since I was 16. Absolutely no one knows. I've never even told a friend, and I would like to keep our identities private. If parents or family members found out, our lives would be destroyed. I also initiated it. Ask me anything.
Wow. Are we gonna get in the weeds of it?
We are getting in the weeds.
Okay.
So some of the top comments have been deleted. We still have OP's responses. Top comment at the time, I have no idea, but OP's response, yes, a few. I was taking a shower and my brother came in to fool around with me. He thought that our parents had already left that morning for work. However, my dad came back home because he left his cell. I was in the middle of going down on him and my dad knocked on the door. Considering the situation, I stayed calm and yelled, "What do you want?" He was looking for my brother and said he couldn't find him anywhere and that his car was parked in the driveway. I lied and said he went to John's house down the street. Luckily, our dad never went to check on him. I bet this person was asking, like, have you ever had any close calls getting caught? Another time was when we were at our grandparents' house and we had to share one of those old pull-out couches. We started to have sex and my grandmother walked in the room and asked out loud where her remote to her TV was. We just paused and laid quietly and she walked out of the room. She even looked at our bed, but I guess because she was old and she has cataracts, she couldn't see very well.
Or maybe she just wanted to not know.
She must have thought
Pretend.
we were asleep. That was pretty scary.
Oh my God.
There were other times, but they're not that interesting. It usually involved one of us quickly putting on our clothes and running into the next room.
Oh my God. How does this happen? Is there more?
Yeah, there's too much more.
Oh my gosh.
So someone asked you, did you have sexual thoughts about him before you woke up on top of him? Not really. However, at that age, I just had crushes on boys. It wasn't really sexual for me until then. I just remember feeling him under me and he was aroused. I was really curious and I started touching him. He responded and I got really turned on. The most that I have ever been. For that matter, do you have them now? Of course I do. I have sex with him frequently. Like, does he get boxers at Christmas and you think about what they're going to look like on the floor? Yes and no. It's weird, but when we are around our parents, I shut that part of myself off for a while. We act completely normal around friends and relatives. We may look at each other now and then, but I don't think anyone notices.
Oh my God. Is she in love with him? Or is it just sexual?
So someone asked, did you start out as experimenting? 16 seems relatively old for such a thing. What view do you and your brother have about this and about each other? Does this interfere with relationships with others? It did start out as experimenting, and I think it's mainly my fault. We had to share a bed, and we had relatives staying with us for a week. I'll spare you the details, but I woke up on top of him and I started fondling him.
Oh my God.
He didn't ask me to stop, and we started fooling around since that day. It just progressed over time.
I'm like, mental note, remind myself never to have my children share a bed. Just kidding.
Crazy.
Anyways, wow.
We both know it's really fucked up, but we both enjoy it, so we don't stop. We only ever cared about hurting our family. Does this interfere with relationships? In the beginning, no. We would continue having relationships with other people. However, lately, he does not want me to be with anyone but him. It's become an issue.
Oh my God. So she doesn't like him, but he's in love with her.
Dude, you got to end it at that point. Like, you got to end it. You can't marry your brother.
I
You
mean,
can't.
you kind of can.
If you ran
well, you
away,
can't.
you would have to run away, move to another country,
Yeah.
and like go full-blown identity change, which nowadays is so hard to do.
Yeah.
And the genetics of your kids, you don't
I
know.
know.
That's a Russian roulette of a gun of genetic monopoly catastrophe.
You know, it's so funny that this was a conversation that like our friends were having yesterday, because one of our friends was actually talking about the fact that people would do that back in the day. Like they would act, it was something that was very normal, you know, like in kings and queens times. And I'm wondering why that was normal back then and then why it's become so disgusting in our world now, today. Do you know what I mean? Like, what happened? What changed? How is that normal and now it's not? Because she was saying that they wanted to keep the blood like in the same bloodline type of thing. And so why was that normal then and it's not now? Like, what happened?
I mean, even the modern day royal family, like I'm pretty sure Queen Elizabeth, I'm just going to fact check on the fly so I'm not wrong. I'm pretty sure she married her cousin.
Which also, Opie said that she's 19 and that her brother is
21.
Okay.
So they've been having sex now for 3 years too, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah. The late queen, she was married to her third cousin. So like even modern day royals, they're still like now, obviously not now, modern. Like William didn't marry his cousin. Harry didn't marry his cousin. So yeah, but I mean, a lot of them still were incestuous. I think it was also like a certain sense of power to keep it within the family and not marry a commoner or not marry someone beneath them. Like, I think a lot of that was like power. A lot of those moves were made strategically. There's only so many royal families to marry your children off to.
And I understand that there's that they wanted to keep it in the bloodline, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm like, what happened
Socially?
in the middle?
Yeah.
Like what socially happened in the middle where it is like, so we're over here, like, what the heck is going on when we hear this story?
I don't know. We need an anthropologist to come on.
on.
So someone goes, have you guys ever had a, serious conversation about the whole thing? Yeah, we may have, but between all that fucking, it's hard to remember. Sarcasm. Of course. We've had many serious conversations about it. Like I said, it's easier said than done. We're not hurting anyone. We're not going to have kids. We're enjoying ourselves.
Oh my gosh. Well, I did tell you guys this on a different episode, but I was talking to a guy for a bit and he's from a very small town. And he told me that his town was very incestual. Like basically there was a brother and sister. I think they might've been twins or they were whatever in the same high school. And during lunchtime, the sister would sit on the brother's lap and make out with him the entire lunch period. Just in front of everybody. And everyone knew they were brother and sister. Yeah, this is modern day, right? And then also there was a guy on like his football team that had apparently webbed feet. And he said that it was a mutation because his mom and dad are brother and sister.
Wow. I don't remember if this story was on Patreon.
Is mutation the right thing to say, by the way? I feel like I just
It's
made him
genetic
sound
mutation.
I feel like I just
He's
made him
a
sound like a
mutant.
Ninja Turtle.
X-Men.
And he actually became a Ninja Turtle.
No, that's correct. But do you remember that story we had? I thought it was Patreon, but it was like the mom and the dad were twins and they fell in love and they ran away together to get like married and have kids. And the daughter was finding out like years and years later, like I think after her dad died. Do you remember that story?
No.
Might be on Patreon. But that one was crazy too.
You should read that to me one day.
It was wild.
I'm
wild.
interested.
But there are so many comments. I mean, OP was out here replying for quite some time.
It's insane. How do you like, I don't know. You can't ever like you can't really brush that one off either. Because it's like, this might be a phase, but this is now, I mean, how do you date someone else and go to like, be like, come home for Christmas?
You can't. Someone does ask that too. Are either of you in a relationship? Not at the moment. Sometimes I want to date other guys, and I have, but I don't want to be a liar. So I haven't been in a committed relationship with someone else for a while now. My brother has dated a lot of girls, but he hasn't had a long relationship with someone either. Sadly, I'm probably the longest person he's been with. Do you kiss at all? Is there anything either of you won't do? Yes, we kiss. We didn't at all in the beginning, but lately he has been kissing me more and more.
He's in love with her.
We would never make out, but we have been in the past couple of months. We've done everything except anal. He's never asked, and I don't want to. Do you cuddle after, sleep together, or go back to your own beds? Yes, sort of. It's progressed over times. When we were younger, we would obviously have to go back to our own beds, but sometimes we would lay in bed and laugh and watch TV. We cuddle more now since we have the time to be alone together.
The way you read this makes it sound so normal. Like, do you know what I mean? Like the way that you make her sound as you're reading with your voice, it makes it sound so casual. Like, yeah, that's just, what do you mean it's weird? It's not weird.
Well, let's see if this next one pushes us over the edge. Someone asks, have you/him slept with others, and how does it compare? I've slept with one other person, and strangely, it felt weird to me. I wanted my brother. It's really fucked up to read that.
Oh my
I don't
God.
know.
Yeah.
I know that he has slept with other women. He's very attractive and has dated a lot of girls. I don't know how I feel about it and try not to think about it, honestly.
Oh my gosh. They both like each other. What the fuck? That's such a crazy thing. Like, imagine being in love with your brother. What the oh my God. Because it's like, where do you go from here?
I don't know. It's tough because it's like you obviously, like I said, you can't be together. Like, this is your brother. It's not healthy. Like, I think,
like I said, people do it though.
I know, but I wonder I know there's so much where like we're attracted to people who are genetically close to us. Like, I get there's all of this stuff, but psychologically, I wonder if this is healthy because it doesn't feel healthy.
No.
And like now he's starting to get possessive. He doesn't want her to date other people. Like there's no happy ending here.
Yeah.
And he's starting to get controlling. He's starting to like really almost be in love with her. Like, we didn't make out at all, but now we make out and kiss all the time. Like he's becoming more intimate.
You know,
it's not just sex.
It's interesting too, because when I was younger, I used to think about like, if there was a guy who I thought was so incredibly attractive, and if he had a sister, I'm like, oh my God, that would suck being his sister. Because it's like, everyone thinks this guy is so attractive and he's your brother, so you have to think he's gross. But like, what if they don't? What if they don't think their brothers are gross? They're just like, oh my God, my brother is the most beautiful person I've ever seen, and I'm not able to be with him. Like,
I know.
Like, what if people, you know what I mean?
Well, now like every single Reddit story we ever read forward where it's like, my boyfriend's just a little too close with his sister.
Now I'm going to be more skeptical after this story.
Yeah. Like, it does kind of like taint you a little bit.
Because the first story we read, I'm like, okay, she's probably like, come on, you know, she's probably, but like, what if this was the same people?
We act normal around family. No one would ever know.
Yeah.
And then behind closed doors, they're actually having sex.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
It is wild.
These Reddit stories have opened my mind in such ways that I don't really like.
Well, let's see if you like the next one, okay?
Okay.
This next one is coming from True Off My Chest. It is titled, I'm worried my husband's sister might have been trying to harm or even kill me.
Oh my gosh.
3 days ago, my husband and I went to his parents' house to visit for the weekend. His sister is a college student and was home for the summer as well, so we got to see her too. Since they have a lakefront property and the weather was very nice, a lot of the time was spent at the lake this weekend, and some very ... weird things happened. For some background first, I've always kind of gotten an off vibe from my husband's younger sister. When we were dating, it seemed like she would find any excuse in the world to avoid me, and when we did interact, I sensed some hostile undertones pretty much every single time. I brushed it off as just me maybe not clicking with her or misunderstanding her. Still, when we got married last year, I included her as one of my bridesmaids. And low-key, she was a huge pain in the ass for the entire experience. My other bridesmaids told me she made snide comments to them that made them quite uncomfortable, was huffy during the bridal shower and wedding rehearsal, made faces at the decorations, and pulled weird faces when she ate the cake too. I still brushed it off as maybe it's just her personality and left it at that. At the lake, though, a number of events occurred that kind of unsettled me. On the day we arrived, my husband's sister had invited a number of her own friends from college over, and the group of us spent some time together in the water. At one point, we all decided to have a big chicken fight, and at first, it was quite fun and lighthearted. Then a bunch of people, including my husband, broke away to do their own thing, and his sister turned to me and said, let's do another round, with her other 2 friends left in the lake, and asked to get on my shoulders. I said sure, knelt down under the water to let her up, but instead of getting on my shoulders properly, she got on top of my head and wouldn't budge at all when I tried to move her. I couldn't get her off me or even get my head up to breathe for what felt like a very long time.
Holy shit. No, you're not making stuff up. You are absolutely correct in your theories. That's insane.
All while my head was being squeezed between her thighs, and I was seriously panicking by the time I managed to dislodge her and bring my head up to the surface. What's weird about it was that the other 2 weren't even paying attention to any of this or even participating in the attempted chicken fight at all. My husband's sister didn't say anything to me when I came up to the surface, just kind of gave me this weird snort chuckle and got out of the water. I was noticeably shaken and trying to catch my breath, but I assumed maybe this was just some sort of accident, so I tried to act fine and didn't say anything. My husband's parents also have a Sea-Doo that they let those of us with a boating license use. It's a jet ski.
Okay.
If you've never heard
Thank you.
Sea-Doo. I don't have a boating license, so it was mostly just me riding behind my husband with him at the wheel. My husband's sister offered me a ride though, and I didn't want to say no, thinking maybe this was a chance to bond with her, so I agreed to it. I told her the Sea-Doo still made me quite nervous though, and to take it slow if she could.
Oh no.
She definitely did not take it slow and easy.
That stuff's so dangerous. I can't believe she did that after.
The water thing?
Not to victim shame at all, but I'm like, I couldn't. After the water thing to like, nope. I'm already afraid of jet skis.
I so get it though, because you convince yourself in the moment, like,
I was making it up. That wasn't true. Yeah,
I'm
no.
imagining it.
Exactly. I understand, but
It's crazy.
Yeah.
She took any and every opportunity she could get to jump the Sea-Doo off the wakes of the boats that passed us by, was doing sharp turns at high speeds like crazy, and I found myself having to cling to her for dear life throughout the ride. There were points where we both nearly fell off the jet ski with how wildly she was driving it. Again, though, I didn't say anything about it and acted fine because I thought maybe she didn't realize how fast and crazy she was going. Later, my husband's dad yelled at her for attempting to splash my husband with the Sea-Doo while he was in the water. Their dad told her it was dangerous to try and ride that close to people in the water like that because she could have ran him over. After about an hour or so, it was just me in the water with my husband's sister on the Sea-Doo, and she drove that thing within a couple of feet of me just to turn it and splash me with the water, way closer than she ever got to my husband. I laughed it off, but again, was inwardly freaked out. That brings us to yesterday at dinner. As everyone in the family had been made acutely aware of by my husband, I have a serious dairy allergy, to the point where ingesting even a little bit of it can risk causing anaphylaxis. My husband's sister contributed a big pot of tomato rice and told me there was no dairy in it, so I could have some. I trusted her and helped myself to a portion of it, but shortly after eating it, I had to excuse myself because I started to feel extremely ill and wound up spending the rest of the night puking my brains out. I felt super faint, and it took a lot of effort to breathe. Thankfully, I had my EpiPen if things got bad enough, but still, the whole experience was just awful. The explanation I got later was that my husband's sister finished the tomato rice with butter to make it creamier and then forgot that she put it in there before serving it to me.
Oh my God.
Seems again like it could be an innocent mistake.
No.
But given the combination of everything that happened this weekend, I'm starting to feel suspicious that it's more than just that at this point. I don't know if I'm overreacting or just being a paranoid mess because this is a huge accusation, but I can't help but feel that niggling suspicion that maybe my husband's sister genuinely meant to harm me.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm fucking crazy.
No, you're not. This person is a psychopath.
She's genuinely trying to kill her.
Literally.
And everything she's doing, she can say it was an accident. It's that like plausible deniability, which gives attempted murder. Like this genuinely feels criminally
terrifying.
It's just bad. Bad.
Do we have any other context of why, like, does she think that the sister just doesn't like her, or does she think that the sister like wants to bang the brother?
That's what I'm wondering. I'm like, is someone acting like this just like that jealous, and she thinks like ruining her brother's relationship is going to get them closer? Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, we go from the Ask Me Anything where the two are having sex, like, to now this. And I don't remember the ages. Okay, no ages mentioned with this, but the sister is in college, husband's older and married, but unclear of the ages in this. So it's like, is there a history and now she's jealous and this is revenge? Like, where is this coming from? Because either way, it's unfucking hinged.
This sister reminds me of the slug story.
Yes.
Putting slugs in her, like poisonous slugs in her smoothie. That's what this reminds me of. Because I don't know, it's just, it's so creepy. Like, and I'm trying to think, like, if the sister wasn't actually being that, if she didn't think of it like that, maybe she thought that it was just playing pranks on her. You know, maybe she thought that it was, what's it called? The one, Parent Trap. Maybe she kind of thought that she was being like a Parent Trap type of person, the way that Lindsay Lohan did in the end of the movie there.
I mean, putting a lizard in someone's hair or on their backpack or whatever, like, so different than trying to drown them. And that's how it started.
Yeah.
That was the first act. Trying to drown her, holding and pinning her head underwater.
But like, what would she say to everybody else? Like, if she did drown?
Oh my God, we were trying to play chicken and I just couldn't get on. And I don't know, I must have just been holding her down on accident as I was trying to get on.
So terrifying.
The jet ski. Oh my God, I was just playing. I was just trying to jump the wakes. I didn't know she would fall off and drown.
Well, yeah, this is why jet skis also terrify me, is that when I was really young, my mom was on one and someone was whipping around really fast and whipped her off and she broke multiple of her ribs. And thank God she had a life jacket on, because it knocked the wind out of her. Like, she was gasping for air. It was terrifying.
They're really, the speeds that they can go is actually insane. Like, insane.
Yeah, and when you hit the water at that speed, it's like
hitting concrete.
It's hitting a brick wall.
Yeah, Justin has had a really bad jet ski accident where he was down, bobbing in the water, unconscious, and other passerbys had to like pull him out of the water.
Oh my God. That's why no matter what, when you're on a jet ski, wear your life jacket.
Always.
No matter what.
Always. They go so fast. Like, the average jet ski, I think, can go like up to 74 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Why don't we wear helmets on things like that? I was thinking about this on the lake last week, seeing everyone on jet skis and jumping wakes. Like, you wear a helmet if you ride a bike, you wear a helmet if you ride a horse, or you should. Why don't we wear helmets on jet skis? Because it is, if you hit the water, like, we need to like really start protecting our brains. But let's get into the comments on this one. So, top comment, stop being nice to her. She hates you. Next time she tries to pull some shit, turn around and ask her, quote, what the fuck is wrong with you? Your husband also needs to pull his head out of his ass and tell his sister to knock it off. Avoid her and places where she might be. If you have to be in her company, just avoid her. Walk away if she comes up to you. Don't engage, and for fuck's sake, do not go anywhere alone with her.
That reminds me, oh my gosh, my boyfriend's mom's dog, she's like
reactive.
More of a reactive dog. And she was just like, when she comes up to you, just turn your back to her. Turn your back to her and she'll not jump up on you and she'll not want to like try to be around you. And so every time she'd come up to like say hi, because she is not always reactive, so she does want to say hi to me, I would turn my back and then she'd be like, oh, and walk away.
Pretty justified.
But that's what I'm picturing. It's just like what they're saying. They're like, when the sister comes up to you, turn your back on her. She'll eventually go away.
I'd literally
just turn around.
I'd run.
She'll go away.
I'd run and I'd make it very clear. Next comment down. I almost can't understand how OP didn't say that. My sister jokingly slammed my ankle with a shopping cart, and that pissed me off so bad because it hurt that I had to walk away before completely cussing her out in the middle of the store, but not before a, what the fuck, sister? Never mind. Someone literally attempting to drown me.
Yeah.
So OP does respond to that. I wasn't having the easiest time saying anything at all. By the time that I had caught my breath, my husband's sister was already out of the lake, and I didn't quite know if I even had a right to be mad. accidents happen. I thought maybe she'd been sitting on me wondering why I wasn't lifting her up already. I didn't have the same level of familiarity with her as I would with an actual sister. If I'd called her out, I would have made more of an issue, if that makes sense. It all happened so fast. In hindsight, I recognize now that I absolutely should have said something to somebody about it. But yeah.
I honestly, I think that, and again, we don't know because we're not in her situation with the dynamics, but like, I feel like I would have panicked so much. I would have taken my nails and dug them into her skin and scratched. Like, I would be so panicked. Someone holding you underwater, like, is absolutely terrifying, even for a few seconds.
I would. Well, and I'm like trying to remember how she described it, where her thighs were like being squeezed. Because if you think about chicken, for those that don't know the game of chicken, you essentially are in the water. You sit on another person's shoulders. There's a person across from you sitting on someone's shoulders, and you almost like tug of war wrestle in the air while you like dump the other person.
Yeah, the first person who knocked down loses. So
Yeah.
you use your hands and try to like push them over.
Yeah. So if she's trying to get on, she could have like deadlocked her, like chokehold her with her legs.
Yeah.
And I'm not like, I don't want to say like OP should have done anything different. Like that was pure assault. That's assault. Like attempted murder. Like that is so, so bad. But like,
Absolutely.
I honestly, when I'm in bad situations, like with my brothers, when we were fighting, I would bite the shit out of them. I think using your teeth is so underrated. If you're ever getting attacked, start fucking biting. Claw the fuck out of people. Like, use everything you fucking have, but bite. Like, you don't realize how strong your jaws are. Like, you have the ability to bite.
I don't say it. Don't do
off
it.
your fucking
Nope,
fingers.
Don't say that. Okay. That's a fun fact that I never wanted to remember. Thanks for bringing that back up.
Yeah. Bite.
Ooh, okay.
Bite.
But actually, no, they say, I think this is, you might need to fact check me.
the
but
carrot.
No, they say that, don't do this to me. I was trying to change the subject, but not really, because basically they say that the human bite is actually the most dangerous. And you might need to fact check me, but
Because of all the bacteria in our mouth.
not only that, but because it's like also when you bite and you don't break blood, it's actually, like you said, so strong that it can cause internal bleeding. That is so dangerous. And I learned that, or came across that the first time, because somebody was saying that she was like a kindergarten teacher and a kindergartner bit her and she wasn't going to do anything about it. And then when she went to the doctor, because it wasn't bleeding, they were basically like, if you didn't come in sooner, we would have like amputate your arm. So
it is a very common Googleable phrase. Human bites are more dangerous than they appear. Due to the high number of bacteria in the mouth, a human bite can lead to serious infection. They can be more dangerous than dog bites.
Mm-hmm.
Infections occur up to 25 times more after a human bite. So yeah, bite the fuck out of people. Bite them. Bite them. People are messing with you. You're getting attacked. Bite. Bite. Her. Stop trusting her and laughing her shit off. Tell your husband about everything she has done and stay the fuck away from her psycho ass.
Mm-hmm.
If she does anything else, start calling her out loudly.
Yes, literally.
And someone goes, yeah, why are you laughing everything off here? You don't have to go nuclear on her, but it wouldn't be overreacting to name the behavior and say, hey, why'd you sit on my head like that? Or, hey, why'd you tell me there's no dairy in this? I get that we're raised to not make waves, blah, 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 blah. But there's a big gap between laughing it off and doing nothing versus causing boatloads of drama. Someone responds and goes, I can definitely see her playing innocent. What do you mean? I was trying to bond with you and treat you like family, and you give me an attitude like that? I wasn't trying to hurt you. All I was trying to do was share some food with you, and you think I was trying to hurt you? Sniffle. Big brother, can you believe it? She's being so mean to me and accusing of me. All day long, I'm just trying to be so nice to her, and look how she treats me. OP responds to that and goes, to be honest, this is exactly how I would expect her to react. Insincerely or sincerely. I'm having a talk with my husband tonight when he gets home.
Ooh, I hope there's updates.
So someone goes, I hope it goes well and that you update us that you're okay and that your husband backs you up. This is a serious situation. OP says, I'll update you guys after we talk. The more time I've had to reflect on this whole trip, the more certain I feel that I'm not being unreasonable, and this warrants a serious discussion with him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm no longer in immediate danger from her, though I'd write the original post after we had just gone home. Someone does ask if she got an apology about the rice and butter and what her husband thought. Yes, I did get an apology from her about the rice. My husband was pissed at her about it and went off on her about being so careless, but he seems to think it was just a really dumb accident on her part. I'm going to tell him about the other incidents, though. Well,
Wait, we don't have anything? We do.
are we ready for the update?
Yeah. You were about to really let me down, and then you didn't.
Okay, for the update. Attempted to post this on True Off My Chest, but for some reason it keeps getting taken down. I don't know why. First off, I'd like to extend my most sincere gratitude to the Redditors who took the time out of their day to give me advice. I wasn't expecting so many people to come to my support and confirm I wasn't being crazy or overreacting. Anyways, here's what happened since my last post. So I did end up talking to my husband about his sister's behavior towards me last weekend. I was planning on sitting him down and just point blank raising my concerns about her, but her name came up organically in conversations, so I ended up using it as a springboard for telling him about last weekend's incidents. As I went through each sketchy incident I had with her, my husband believed me and was angry on my behalf about what happened. He also supports my wishes to keep more of a distance from her going forward. He told me to let him know if she ever pulls anything like the incidents in the water/Sea-Doo again. The dairy thing, he still believes to be a genuine accident. Apparently, she was in tears over how badly she felt about it.
Fake.
I
But whatever.
agree. Apparently, my sister-in-law's behaviors last weekend weren't 100% out of character for her. After telling my husband about my incidents with her, he explained to me that she's had a history of crossing lines and testing the limits of people's boundaries like this, albeit never this egregiously. Until college, she struggled making and keeping friends due to constantly crossing peers' boundaries. My husband even had to come to her aid in grade school due to her pissing off the wrong people who were ready to beat her ass. He should have let her.
Literally.
He should have let her. He thought she'd gotten better in recent years, which is why he was so taken aback when I told him about the stuff she did last weekend. Apparently, she's been in therapy for a very long time now to treat some mental health and behavioral issues. My husband was/is pissed at her for what she did to me, but he genuinely doesn't think her intentions were to kill or maim me, just to test my limits and haze me, albeit extremely recklessly. I'm inclined to agree with him, but my guard is still up in case anything more than that happens. His theory is that because I'm quite shy, she figured I was less likely to put my foot down with her, and that's why she did stuff to fuck with me in particular. It's not anything I did or said. Yes, I did ask. So going forward, I'm going to try to keep brief any interaction I have with her at future family events and stuff. I'll still be polite, of course. Why? But no way am I going to be alone with her anymore. And my husband says he's on board with this arrangement and will intervene if necessary to make sure it stays. It sucks to realize I'm probably never going to have a good relationship with my sister-in-law like I'd hoped.
You don't need it.
I've never had siblings before, so I was excited by the idea of having someone accept me as a sister and having some sort of relationship. Ah, well, I get along well with the rest of the family and have enough kick-ass friends in my life who are like sisters to me in their own way. Haha.
Good. But you're not satisfied.
I don't like that he's giving her a cop-out.
I like that he didn't push back, that he was supportive. But I also think even if he doesn't believe that his sister's intentions were to kill, because that may be true, but at the same time, her actions could have. Even if that wasn't her intentions, they could have. So like that it's just as concerning.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And I mean, you are right. Like he did back her very quickly. It wasn't like, no, my sister would never do that.
Yeah.
But he backed her so quickly because she has a history of doing this.
Yeah, that he probably should have warned his shy. I didn't know she was shy. He probably should have warned his shy wife about this.
Yeah, like you're getting married to someone and your sister has a history of pushing people's boundaries. I have people like that in my life that have never, ever harassed or bullied or done stuff like this to people. But I would still like tell Justin, like, hey, just so you know, You know, that family member, little bit of a wild card. If you get a hard time, don't take it personally. Like, you still preface certain people. Typically, I don't know, maybe everyone doesn't have a crazy fucking family like me, but like, I feel like that's just common courtesy to someone you're with, especially someone you're married. Like, hey, my sister, love her, but she does try to push boundaries. Don't let her take advantage of you.
Yeah.
Put your foot down.
Right.
Because if he would have said that from the jump,
Then she would have been,
then it never would have maybe gone this far. Maybe, right? Because sister-in-law, mind of her own, but at least give her the warning.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny because actually recently, I was introducing a friend to another group of people. And one of the things I said, I kind of was like, this particular person sometimes says things a little kind of wild. So just don't be surprised if this person says something a little out there.
Yeah.
And she then afterwards came up to me and was like, this person said XYZ to me. And she's like, and I would have actually been mad, but I remembered what you said. And then I wasn't mad because I'm like, this is just this person, you know,
their quirky, weird.
This is just this person.
Self.
Yeah. So I do think it is good to give people a heads up. I understand not wanting to like taint a well and kind of like have preconceived notions when they don't even, maybe they've changed. Maybe they won't treat them like that. But I do think it's good to like at least preface it a little bit, especially if there's that extreme of a history like this situation.
I think you need to. I think if you have anything that you know, and like some people are like, well, it's not my business. They blah, blah, blah. But it's like
in this situation, it 100% is. Yeah.
And you also like, obviously the sister, as he said, is in mental health therapy for behavioral and mental health issues. I'm really happy she's in therapy and addressing it. But at the same time, like if she has put people's safety in question in the past, I think it's something to know. And like, I think it's crazy. The one thing that really pissed me off where he was like, well, I do think the dairy thing was a genuine accident. No.
Yeah.
No. I'm pretty sure everyone knows butter is dairy. I'm pretty sure you would remember how you cooked tomato rice.
Well, and if you're going to bring the dish up and say there's no dairy in it.
She made very clear.
Yeah. That's where I'm like, nope, I don't believe that.
No.
Those
Those crocodile tears, fake as fuck.
Save them, bitch.
Fake as fuck. Oof. Moving along. Okay, so this next one is a too close for comfort in terms of proximity. Okay. So it is originally from r/ask a manager. New subreddit. I don't know if we've really dabbled in here much in the past. Maybe one story, maybe two tops, but it's not typical for us.
Okay.
It's titled, "My new manager is someone I slept with years ago. And he doesn't know we have a child."
Whoa.
So backstory. I went to university in my late 20s to do my PhD and shared an office with a few other students for many years. One of the students, Jacob, completed his thesis and was moving back to his home country. So we all went out for congratulatory/farewell drinks. One thing led to another, and Jacob and I spent the night together. A few weeks later, I realized I was pregnant, and I had no way to contact Jacob. His university email and phone number had been deactivated since he had left the university and the country. I didn't need anything from him and was fine to raise the child alone, but I thought that he had a right to know. I Googled him a few times over the years, but I never found him. Last week, our department had emailed everyone to introduce and welcome our new manager, Jacob, with a photo and a blurb about his education and work history. So I know for sure it's him. The night we spent together changed my life because it made me a parent. So I have thought about Jacob from time to time when my daughter asks about her dad, or I notice a genetic trait she didn't get from me. However, I doubt Jacob has given that night a second thought. I have no idea whether he will have any concerns about being my manager given our history, or whether I'm making a bigger deal of this than I should be. For what it's worth, in my years of sharing an office with Jacob, he seemed easygoing and practical. In our company, it is common for everyone in the department to reply all to these introduction emails and introduce themselves, welcome the newcomer aboard, and explain how their role will interact with theirs. I'm not sure if my email should note that Jacob and I studied together years ago as a way to get that out into the open, or should I email him individually and offer to have a discussion about keeping our history out of the workplace if he thinks it's needed. I'd appreciate any suggestions for language that indicates I'm not concerned and will be completely professional. And then, in direct contradiction to that, I'd also appreciate a script for a separate email saying, quote, "Can we please meet outside of work because I need to tell you something important about our history." So I can tell him about his daughter. If you or any commenters think I shouldn't tell him or I should let him settle into his new country and new job first, I would definitely take that on board.
Whew, that's heavy.
I'm sweating.
Don't respond all. That's the least of your concerns.
Immediately.
You're
Immediate, just like, hey, wow, great, crazy seeing you here.
no, you don't respond. Don't. I would say don't do that.
I'm like sweating.
Don't
'cause
say anything.
This is such a different sub to come into too. Like ask a manager. Like this is so professional. It's not relationship advice. Like they work together. She's like really being considerate
Yeah.
of that context.
I would not respond all. I wouldn't say anything. I would, and if somebody else asked, be like, "Oh, I've been so busy. Like I forgot to do that."
So what would you do?
Well, I would talk to him in person.
You just run up on him. Hey, we got a kid.
I mean, I would keep it out of emails because all of your emails are tracked. They can all be tracked. Like I know she's keeping it like open-ended. Like, can we talk about our history? But I would keep that out of the email.
Gosh.
I wouldn't say anything. And then when I see him in person, I would then be like, hey, actually, I've been meaning to talk to you. I've thought about you and I wanted to have a conversation with you. Like,
Can we grab a coffee or?
can we grab a coffee? Yeah.
Wow. What are the chances?
I know.
It feels a little
Wait,
like
also-
fate, right?
Also, I'm just remember at the live show when we talked about the part where it was like, can I grab a coffee? And we had our friend Chill up on stage and she was losing it. She goes, anytime someone says, can we grab a coffee and talk? She's like, I spiral. Fuck that. She's like, there's nothing good that comes out of having a coffee and talking.
No. And speaking of live shows and content, I am putting together the compilation of some of our favorite stories from the live shows, and it will be dropping on Patreon. So
Yeah. I'm excited and nervous about.
we said some shit. We said some crazy shit at the live shows. So it's going to be really, really good. I'm aiming for end of July, but it might be August, friends. It might be August. So just keep your eyes out. I will be sure to let you know, but you'll find out, see it
Yeah.
first on Patreon. Hey. Okay. So I'm reading this on Best of Redditor updates. Ask a Manager is now a private sub. I don't know if they went private during the Reddit boycott and just never came back, but there is additional info from the OP after Allison, who I think is like the head manager, pinned the comment. Thank you for your comment at the top, Allison. The extent to which I tried to find Jacob wasn't relevant to my question, so I didn't include the efforts I went to. For the commenters who are curious, understandably, I really did try when I first found out I was pregnant. I asked the other people we shared an office with, but no one had any information. We were students who shared an office and sometimes went to the uni bar together. We never spent any time together outside of uni. I asked Jacob's thesis supervisor, but it was Christmas/Australian summer here, so he was on leave for 2 months. When he got back, he gave me the address on Jacob's file, which was, of course, the Australian address he didn't live at anymore. The uni had a next of kin Australian contact number on file for his aunt, but no one answered it when I rang. Jacob is Chinese with a very common surname, and Jacob is just the name he used in my country. I don't know his actual given name, so attempts to find the correct Mr. Wong in a country where they don't use Google or Facebook went nowhere. I searched for recent publications about Jacob's thesis topic and found a paper with Jacob Wong as one of the authors. I contacted the corresponding author and asked for Jacob's email, but they never responded. By this point, I'd given up because I was so sick with hyperemesis gravidarum that I needed to focus on my baby's health. I think Allison must have asked, like, what extents did you go to?
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Why didn't you tell him earlier? Kind of
Yeah.
thing.
I'm trying to see, like, if this is on Ask a Manager and now I can, like, see it anywhere.
I wonder how many men are out there that would prefer
To never know.
prefer to be told or prefer not to be told.
I haven't done a poll in a while, so there will be a poll. It will be on YouTube on the community tab. If you are a guy, imagine you have a hidden child, unknown child out there. Would you want to know? Me personally,
100% I would want to know.
I'm 50-50, I would say.
Really?
I don't know.
No, I'm too curious.
I think it depends. Like, I think if the kid has an amazing, amazing, amazing life and it's like, it's better not knowing, like, I'm cool not knowing. But if it's like the kid is like searching for their bio dad and wants to know or is in a bad situation, then I'd want to know because, like, obviously I'd want to, like, help and foster a relationship. I think depends.
Yeah. I would want to know. I honestly hoped that I would find out that I had more relatives that were like, that I didn't know about.
I really wanted Justin to find a sibling when he did DNA.
Yeah.
So I can't read any of the comments on the original post because Ask Manager is now private. Like, it doesn't let me get into the community at all. You have to, like, request to be a part of it.
Well, request to be a part of it. I'll wait.
Okay, I sent the request.
Okay. Well,
It might be a while.
might be a minute.
Might, you know. We'll get back to you on that. If by the time this episode is going to go live and I've been approved, I will read some comments. Let me see if I can find, because I know Ask Allison is a blog as well. Let me see if I can find this on Ask Allison. Okay. So Allison Green is who Ask a Manager is. She did post it to her blog. So we do have Allison's response.
Ooh.
Hey, Google, not Reddit coming in. Hey, Google. So Allison responds, oh my goodness. This is what is professionally referred to as a real cluster fudge. The issue isn't that you're making too big of a deal out of it. You're not making a big enough deal out of it. It's a really big deal. I'm less concerned about the one night together than I am about the fact that you share a child and he doesn't know that yet. Normally, the night together would give you some pause too, since he's your manager, and that can complicate things, even if you're both scrumptiously professional about it, but that's vastly overshadowed by the shared child.
Exactly.
Jacob can't possibly be assumed by any objective observer to be able to manage you objectively or credibly or fairly when you have a child together. Your employer almost certainly wouldn't have hired him to manage you if they had been aware of the situation, which is no one's fault. Jacob didn't know and doesn't know, your company didn't know, and you had no way of knowing he was under consideration. But here you all are. One of you is almost certainly going to need to change jobs. Until that can happen, the best solution would be for you to report to someone other than Jacob. But how feasible that is depends on things I don't know, like the nature of your jobs. I strongly recommend doing one and possibly two things before you do anything else. Definitely talk to a lawyer and ideally talk to a therapist too. The lawyer because of potential legal ramifications that you want to be prepared for. How will you respond if Jacob wants shared custody? What if your employer tries to push you out? Both of those could end up being non-issues, but the potential ramifications are significant enough that I'd want you going in prepared and with help lined up. And the therapist, because the situation is serious enough that some professional guidance will help. Good luck. Allison.
Yeah.
Snaps all around. This is why she is Ask a Manager. Wow. Wow. I feel like there's nothing else we can say.
Yeah, well, that's why I was like, it's silly to be like, oh, should I respond to the whole company and be like, no. Yeah, and be like, oh, we went to uni together. It's like, no,
Do you fake it though? Like, just to be like civil, be like, Jacob, it's great to connect again.
Yes.
Like,
well,
you kind of like fake it, right?
in person. I wouldn't do the whole email thing. I just would leave. No.
I didn't even think about the shared custody thing though. Like that's what's so scary because you don't know this person. You accidentally had a child with them. Like what if he does want 50-50 custody? And then you're putting what sounds like a 5-year-old in the hands of a stranger 50% of the time.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's terrifying that can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's what's so wild to me about just like how this can happen where somebody can have a whole ass child and not know. It blows my mind.
I know. It's wild. Okay, let's get into the update. Thank you for answering my letter. You were right. It was a really big deal. I was viewing the Jacob as my manager problem from his perspective until I told him otherwise. It was just a simple one-night stand over a decade ago, and it didn't seem like a huge problem. I hated and appreciated the reality check. I regret reading the comments, but thank you for moderating them as quickly as you did. A lot happened in a short space of time. Thankfully, I already had a therapist. First, I spoke to my union rep who said, quote, say nothing, but call us if HR tries to set up a meeting with you. Staying silent and having Jacob independently declare the prior relationship when he arrived would have been problematic because I'd still end up in the same position and I would have lied by omission. Our HR team can be gossipy and they know the age of my half-Chinese daughter. So I needed to have as much control as possible over the disclosure. I spoke to an employment lawyer who reviewed our policies and, at his suggestion, I wrote an email to HR declaring a prior relationship with Jacob. And then I was immediately pushed out. Even if you have all the legal support in the world, you can't prevent someone from doing something illegal. You just have recourse afterwards. In a meeting with my lawyer, the union rep, HR, and a member of the senior management team, I was asked to resign. When I said no, they insisted on a statutory declaration about the relationship with Jacob, stating what happened, when it happened, how many times it happened, and who initiated it. I also said no to that. We ended the meeting with each side agreeing to think about possible solutions. The company's solution was to start messing with my pay, my benefits, my swipe card access to my office, my computer login, and my email/calendar account. They spread rumors about me, and I heard coworkers whispering that I had had an affair with a manager. They sent me for a random drug test at a time when I was scheduled for an important meeting with clients. They canceled accommodation that had been booked for upcoming travel, which I found out about because I was getting paranoid and called the hotel. I can't describe how awful it feels to know that someone with this kind of power over your job is devoting their time and energy to thinking of ways to screw with you. Every time I was going into work wondering what was waiting for me, and it was wearing me down fast. The advice from the union rep was to go back in time and follow their first piece of advice, or just keep documenting everything as we prepared to take legal action. The lawyer estimated that it would take at least a year to get any kind of resolution, and I didn't even want the job anymore. By this point, I wasn't sleeping much and I had cried a few times at work. I was beginning to crack, and we were only just getting started.
Oh my God. Don't be shy. Release the name of the company.
Absolutely.
Fuck you guys. Truly fuck you guys.
So I resigned. I wish I'd held up better under the pressure, but it was all just too much with the looming deadline of Jacob's start date at our office and whatever way HR was going to drag him into this. I'm lucky that I can take my time looking for a new job, so I've had some space to process everything. Outside of the work stuff, I spoke with a family lawyer who outlined all of the possible ways this situation could go and what the most likely outcomes were. Basically, my daughter is old enough that what she wants would get heavily weighted by a court if it came to that. I have spoken to my daughter many times about her father. I told her what I knew about him and that I had tried to contact him. I've offered for her to see a therapist if she ever wanted to talk about it with someone who wasn't me. And she always said, quote, thanks, but no thanks. The family lawyer helped me write a letter, which I left for Jacob. I told him about his daughter, said I wasn't trying to get anything from him, and gave him the contact details of my lawyer. After a few weeks of me freaking out that HR had somehow intercepted the letter, he emailed my lawyer. He was the easygoing and practical Jacob that I had remembered. He was still processing it, but said he wasn't going to take any legal steps. He offered us his family medical history. He apologized if I resigned because of him, and he said he would like to meet our daughter if she's interested. She also has some siblings. I told her all of this. She said she's happy that she has her father's contact info, but she doesn't want to meet him right now. She's of the view that having him in our lives would cause unwanted disruption. And she doesn't even know about the work cluster fudge.
I'm still processing the way that the work handled it because
Oh my God.
It's so frustrating to me to hear that. Like, okay, the single mother, that's who you're going to leave jobless? Screw you. That's why I'm like, I want to know that company name and I want them to be plastered everywhere because like, I don't know, that's just like so messed up to me. Like the guy hasn't even started. Find someone else.
Literally.
She's been working for you and she, as a single mom, she has a daughter that she needs to pay the bills for. So like, screw you.
He hasn't even started.
No.
I didn't realize that like until he got there. Like I thought they're trying to push her out because he's already there and he's a good manager, but like he hasn't even started.
Oh, it's so frustrating. And you know, it's just like, it's all legal shit. They just want to cover their asses. But like, it's working in sales. I actually know so many situations where somebody underneath the manager or VP was hooking up with the manager or VP.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And they don't get the manager or VP in trouble. They push the other person out.
Because they're more expendable.
But like
And that's just so sad.
But what's frustrating is that, well, in this situation is different because he hasn't started yet. But like what's frustrating is that it's like, okay, well, the upper management has like the upper hand. Do you know what I mean? Like they're the ones.
It's the power imbalance.
Yes, there's a power imbalance, which is why it's like, okay, well, what if it was that upper management that was saying like, hey, I can help you out more if you start hooking up with me. I don't know. I don't like it. I think it's really messed up that the person who is making less, who's like not as highly ranked, is the one who has to get pushed out, and that the VP
It's so wrong.
just goes and like lives their best life and no one cares. I just think that's wild.
Yeah. Well, and that does happen a lot. Like, oh, we have a relationship. You can get a promotion. Like, it does happen. I know situations where it's happened. Like it is out there in the world.
And then if they get exposed, it's the person underneath that gets pushed out.
Which is crazy to me because legally, the person that is in the more powerful position should technically like have worse legal ramifications from like a company HR point. Like if HR wants to protect the company, that person who is in a higher position of power and sought out the affair or whatever, like they're a bigger liability to HR.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's so weird.
So weird. I still don't fully understand it, but like I was working somewhere where a manager or a VP literally was having an affair on his wife with someone like 2 stories below him, and not 2 stories, sorry, 2 rankings below him. And anyway, the wife found out and went and sent like an email to the entire, all of the VPs, all of upper management, everyone in the company, and said exactly what happened. And they just all ignored it. And then they fired the girl.
Wow.
Yeah. And nothing.
So bad. So bad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hope that Australia has really, really good labor laws, legal laws. Crazy. The top comment on the best of Redditor updates. Wait, HR pulled all this bullshit and Jacob didn't even start his first day yet?
Yeah.
Next comment. Yeah, this is so messed up. I really wish this company got its come up pants. It's Australia. It might take a while, but I can guarantee the company will have to pay for what it did. So many laws have been broken.
Mm-hmm.
So sad. The daughter is also like, this is a really long period of time that's passed too. If the daughter's like not, you know what I mean? Like doesn't want to meet him. Like I'm like, she's 13, 14. Like,
right. I thought she was 5.
I was thinking 5 just based on her being like, well, my daughter's asked about her daddy. Like, you know what I mean? Crazy. This was a wild one, but like too close for comfort for HR. Why?
Yeah.
Give her a different manager.
Literally.
If she's a good employee, do you know how hard it is to find good employees? What the hell?
It's crazy.
And now you're gonna get sued.
Rightfully.
She deserves all the money. All the money. Okay, so This next one is coming from relationship advice. It's 5 years old. My 28 male girlfriend's 27 female twin sister is way too clingy with her. Throwaway because my friends and girlfriend know my account. This is a long post. Me and my girlfriend met at work 6 months ago. I'm a resident ER doctor and she is an ER nurse. Her twin sister is also a nurse in the same hospital. From what I know, they went to the same college as well, and the longest time they were apart was when my girlfriend studied abroad in Germany for a semester. When I first met her and her sister, I noticed her sister was a bit overprotective and obsessive. I waved it off as just being a sister. Over the times I hang out with my girlfriend in her apartment, she shares it with her sister, I noticed that her sister never really gives us any alone time. The past few months, I've been noticing more awkward behaviors. I've seen her sister use my girlfriend's bras and panties. She said she had the same kind, but I know it isn't hers. I've seen her use my girlfriend's razors, etc. I've also been noticing that she stares at us whenever me and my girlfriend sit on the couch or sit on the patio. The worst was at this one party that my friend hosted in his apartment. Me and my girlfriend noticed that whatever I would do with my girlfriend, her twin would do with her boyfriend. For example, if I kissed my girlfriend and playfully spanked her, she would kiss her boyfriend and spank him. I've talked to my girlfriend about this, but she waved it away. I know this may seem like whatever, but it seriously freaks me out. Then this evening, me, my girlfriend, her twin, and her twin's boyfriend were watching a new movie on Netflix about the crazy, obsessive twin. And for some reason, I got the same crazy vibes from my girlfriend's twin. After the movie, my girlfriend texted me, quote, "I think I get what you mean now."
Whoa.
We decided to talk about how she can be a bit crazy and obsessive, but we don't know if it would be the right course of action. What do you suggest we do?
Whoa. Well, at least you guys are on the same page.
Okay, I will just say there's 2 edits on this thing. Edit 1, okay, I get that sharing stuff isn't a red flag. I've just never really shared stuff. I was pretty spoiled. Sharing razors is not cool. Not kosher. Don't share razors. Do not share razors with anybody.
But I also, I don't think that that's like a crazy behavior when you don't realize that
How
gross
it is.
Yeah, that it can be dangerous. You can accidentally spread
Bloodborne diseases.
Yeah. So
A lot of
when
things.
you don't know that, I don't think sharing a razor is something that's like a huge red flag. Do you know what I mean?
Top comment on this one. I'm interested to know how you know that she wears her sister's bras and underwear.
I was thinking that too.
It was the first thought as I read it.
Yeah,
I go,
I'm like,
how does he know? Is she grabbing them out of her room?
yeah,
Like, how,
I guess.
how does she know?
But then didn't she say like, no, we have the same one? I don't know. That's confusing.
Next comment down. Okay, I'm a twin. Some of this is normal, like sharing clothes and being close. However, the possessiveness is very strange. My sister and I live together, but when me and my boyfriend hang out, she usually entertains herself in another room and gives us space. This twin is too connected.
Yeah.
Most twins feel like we are kind of the same person, but extended versions of one. But this twin takes it to a new level of connectedness. The girlfriend needs to sit down with her sister and let her know what she needs to change and how to change her odd behavior.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to continue dating someone if this went on for forever.
Yeah. Well, because his examples, like, they weren't that wild, but I think the part that is wild is the fact that they watched this documentary or whatever it was, and then the girlfriend was like, "Oh,
Yeah!
I think I know what you mean now.
I get it now.
Yeah.
Alarm bells are ringing.
Yeah, so that, because a lot of these things are like within context, right? It's just like, she won't give us space. It's like, well, they have a studio apartment. Like, you know what I mean? Like, or let's say, and it's like, well, where do you want me to go? I live here, kind of thing. Or is it just like whenever they're there, she needs to sit right next to them at all times, always talking as close as, you know what I mean? So I think that a lot of these things could be context, but the fact that the girlfriend, literally was like, I get it.
Yeah, she's feeling the same
Yeah.
vibe based on
Mhm.
watching that documentary. alarm bells are ringing. So
Yeah.
clearly something's not right. Like there's definitely a level of boundaries or closeness being crossed.
Well, and it almost sounds like, based off of the mimicking, it almost sounds like the twin wants to be her, which is funny because they're twins. I wonder if they're identical. And what if she's just like, I like this version of me better, and so I want to be like her, and I want to embody her.
Dude, I think it's so crazy. Like being a twin, I don't know. Like this person kind of says we feel like an extension of like one person. I can't wrap my mind around that. Like I can't imagine that. I'm like, I'm sitting here kind of having a hard time with it. But I'm thinking like, I don't know if this was a TikTok I saw or what, but I know there's a lot of times where like twins will marry twins. Do you see that one? The twins married twins and then had twins. Like it was just this whole thing. But I've seen something else, and I don't remember where these twin girls just wanted the same husband. They were so close. They didn't want anyone to really impact their relationship. So they ended up with the same husband. So it was just like a poly thing of two sisters and him.
Were the sisters hooking up together then?
I don't remember the exact context.
Whoa.
But I'm wondering if the sister would prefer that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what it kind of gives. It just gives like, I just want to be with you guys. And the mimicking, like he spanks her, so then you spank your boyfriend. Like there's something odd there.
Yeah.
Something odd there. Too close for comfort. Too close for comfort. I wonder if anyone has seen the twin documentary.
I want to watch it now.
I'm curious. I wonder if it's still on Netflix.
I used to want to be a twin so badly when I was little.
Too.
And it used to break my heart when I would be like, well, one day, because you know when you're like a little kid and you're like, one day when I grow up, I'm going to be XYZ. I'm like, one day when I grow up, I'm going to be a twin. Oh, that's not possible. It would make me so sad. And now I just think it'd be the trippiest thing ever. I mean, my mom has a really good friend who is an identical twin, and I've never actually met him, but my mom said they look exactly alike, and he doesn't live in town. So anytime he's come to visit, it's really funny because my mom's cat, Sunny, she's like particular. She takes a little bit to like get to know,
warm up to people.
But she's very comfortable with my mom's best friend. When the twin is around,
she don't fuck with him.
No, she does. She like she sits
so she
on.
Can't tell.
She sits on his lap like he's the exact same person. She's like, we're besties.
That's crazy. I thought it was gonna be like, no, she doesn't mess with his energy, because dogs are like that. I've seen in the past.
Well, they're like, my mom says they're like the same person. She says they talk the same. They literally have the same energy.
Crazy.
Yeah. So my mom is like, it's so trippy to her because she only sees him like every once like a year or something.
I dated an identical twin, and they did the genetic testing.
Identical?
Yeah.
What?
See, that's what I'm saying. That was like their thing. We're identical twins. We're identical twins.
Way. Maybe they don't know what that word means. They weren't the brightest bulbs.
It's a big word, Famo. I don't know. I could see it, but at the same time, like they were so passionate about it, and their mom, sweetest human in the world.
They look super similar, but like they were just easy to tell apart.
So something I just learned, because I watched a TikTok on it, anabolic steroids can widen your jaw.
Oh.
And that's why if you look at pictures of Arnold Schwarzenegger, like he had a very like just normal looking jaw and face. And then over time, you'll see pictures of his jaw just like totally expand and widen. And I think one of them did anabolic steroids. Okay. I actually know one of them went on steroids. So I think that also...
okay, I know.
I saw it. So I think that contributed to the facial jaw structure changes.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That would do it.
But very interesting. I want the twins to chime in. What do you think, twins?
Yeah. How many twins do we have that listen? I would love to know.
I know. We'll have to put a comment on the YouTube like this if you're a twin.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then share one of your funnest or funniest twin moments.
Yeah. I always, if I had a twin, I always wanted to like mess with teachers. I feel like that was a goal.
There was there was two kids in my school growing up that did that. They would switch
Actually?
Yeah, they'd switch places. They were so identical. It was so hard to tell them apart. The only way that you could tell them apart is because of the fact that one of them always wore red and the other one always wore blue. And so on days that they wanted to switch because of like taking tests or whatever, they would just wear red or blue and you couldn't tell them apart. They
Wow.
were literally the exact same. But there was one that had a scar from picking his chicken pox. So once you found that out, then they were
could tell them.
exposed. But the teachers didn't know that. So they would do it all the time. I thought it was awesome.
That's wild. I did check OP's account. No comments, no updates. It's 5 years old. So no idea how this obsessed twin ended up. So moving along. This next one is coming from Two Hot Takes subreddit, our very own.
I know it's actually popping over there.
Poppin'.
It's gotten huge.
Poppin'.
Yeah.
It's wild. Love you all.
Love you guys.
It is titled, My Wife Confessed She Had Been Having an Affair with My Sister's Husband for a Few Months.
Jesus.
Both of our families are looking for a divorce lawyer to start divorce proceedings. Luckily, none of our families have children yet. My wife has already moved in to my sister's husband's place, and my sister has moved in with me. I don't think there is a worse case of a shared trauma experience in the world than what my sister and I are currently experiencing. I loved my wife so much. My sister adored her husband. However, it has been 3 weeks since the confession, and things are already so much better, even though we're both still struggling so much. My sister seems to be coping with the grief better than me. She has rationalized that she is now much happier than she ever was with her husband because he was a pathetic man who couldn't provide for her, and that it has now all turned out for the better. I'm still struggling with my grief because I loved my wife so much, but I am at a much better place now than I was 3 weeks ago.
Wow. That's just, I hate that because it's like, when it's a friend situation, at least the other two can kind of like team up and like maybe be like,
Hey, revenge.
like, or like maybe they'll have like a little spark or like at least be able to kind of be like romantic or intimate, like if they feel like it. But if the siblings, like they're just like left, like, fuck. You know what I mean?
It's just no one wins except them. Like those two get to ride off into the sunset scot-free. They're not connected to the family.
Yeah.
So they don't have kids.
No.
They can ride off into the sunset like nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
These people, they were the reason we got together. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh well. Like that sucks.
It's so sad.
Sucks. Ugh.
That's so wild.
I know. There's no update from OP. There are 2 short comments. They do say, thank you. Having my sister for support has really helped me a lot. And even though my sister is too struggling with grief, she is mentally much stronger than me, and she has helped me a lot these last few weeks. I'm really thankful for her. Top comment on the post. Wow. Condolences to both of you.
Yeah.
Given your sister's description of her soon-to-be ex, I doubt that the prospects for the cheaters are good. Might we see a post sometime in the future where the wife is begging you to take her back? Because the sister being like, he can't provide for me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was wondering what that means. Like financially, sexually, what?
Ooh, where does it go?
Yeah.
Where does it end? God, that's crazy. I could never do that to someone. No matter how much I think I like someone or was like attracted to them, like I would never hurt someone in that way.
Yeah.
The things people will do for sex. I do have one that I'm going to tease real quick. It's going to Patreon, but you just reminded me of it just now with like talking about exes where they can like, they get cheated on and then they can team up together, which Shania Twain, she did it best.
What'd she do?
Shania Twain's best friend started sleeping with her husband. They all got divorced. The best friend went with the husband. Shania ended up with her best friend's ex-husband.
Like they're
yeah.
still together?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I love a good old switcheroo.
I love a good trauma bond.
I don't even know like if that's the right sense in it. Trauma bond is a tough little word to figure out.
Well, I mean, they clearly both went through something
They went through
traumatizing
trauma
and they connected
at
together.
the same time together.
And they probably connected together over it.
Is it a true trauma bond? I don't know. But they
Yeah.
traumatically bonded.
Yeah. No,
I like that.
Yeah. Traumatically bonded is, it's a better way to put it because obviously there's a lot of negative associations with that term.
With trauma bond. Yeah, for sure.
And so I don't mean to put a
I
negative
got
light
you.
at all.
I got you. So this one I want to tease for Patreon. I, 26 female, just found out I'm pregnant after having revenge sex with the fiance, 35 male, of the girl, 30 female, who my ex-boyfriend cheated on me with for 2 years.
Oh my God. Why do people do that?
Cluster fudge right there if I've ever heard one.
No, I mean, why do people cheat for 2 years? At that point, fucking leave. What are you doing? Like,
It's the thrill for them.
literally.
It's the thrill. You don't get it. Never will. But that's all she wrote, folks.
Wow.
Great episode.
Yeah.
Too close
Yeah.
for comfort.
Yeah.
We really went all across the board on this one.
Mhm.
Wow.
Wow.
Hope you guys hung in there okay. We really started off just hitting it where it hurts.
Yeah.
Too close. What are your thoughts on this theme, Lauren? You really, you helped create it.
I know. I think it was good.
Yeah.
I think it was good. I think there's going to be some people who don't like it.
They hate it.
Only because it'll make them a little uncomfortable. Fair enough.
Fair. Very fair.
But I think it's really good overall.
Yeah. I mean, we can all have a lesson learned. If someone tries to play chicken and they hold you under the water, bite them because human bites are more dangerous than dog bites.
Yeah. And they're right there for you to bite. That's,
oh my God. I love biting. I actually love biting.
This chick.
Justin hates it, but I just love a little nibble
Oh,
here and there.
I love twisting Brian's nipples.
this chick. What? Too far, Lauren.
No, little, not sexually, just like a little titty twister. Because they're so tiny, it makes me laugh.
Oh my God.
I know he doesn't like it, but I try to. I think he's pretending he doesn't like it because I think he actually likes it.
Okay, dude, did you see that post? That's a couple days old now. And it literally got removed. I'm so annoyed. It was literally titled, "Am I the asshole for pinching my husband's nipples as hard as I could?"
Oh, I don't do it that hard at all.
No, but you said it and it just instantly,
Yeah.
I went that's so Raven, wormhole to this story. And I'm so pissed it's removed because it was a short one that I would have been just let's go.
Okay, doing it hard is different, actually hurting someone. But I just think it's funny to just they're so little, and I'm like that, and then he doesn't. I don't know.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't bite.
No bites.
But also, that's because I'm also have sensitive teeth, which I've been meaning to ask you guys here on the podcast.
Yeah.
If anyone has any advice, I am literally the best of anyone I know when it comes to oral hygiene, and yet I have a recession. And they say that it's genetics. It's because I had braces. I've gone to multiple people, specialists, and there's not really an answer. But I figured I'd ask you guys because sometimes you guys just know things that even professionals don't.
They know so many things. Have you started doing the oil pulling?
I did that for a while, but people have professionals have given me mixed results. Some say that it's good to do, some say it's not good to do. So I don't.
It's confusing.
It's confusing.
That's one thing I hate, and I think a lot of professionals also don't respect a lot of homeopathic remedies as well.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that's kind of hard when you do find a homeopathic thing and people are like, no, it doesn't work. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Well, I think they probably also legally don't want to recommend it and have it come back to them because it's not board approved type of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's always necessarily that or if they're a little nervous or I don't know. But it's hard. There's so much information out there and it's hard to always get the right answer.
For sure. I did find the nipple post.
Oh.
It's not good.
Oh no.
It's not good. It's going over to Patreon.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for being here. I again, I say this somewhat often, but show would not exist without you all. Appreciate it so much. Hope you love the episode. Come over, join us on Patreon. There's some amazing free bonus stories over there. Again, free. Who hates free? No one hates free. Everyone loves a good gift. So come on over. Maybe I can convince Lauren to do the full bonus episode this month with me.
Maybe she can.
We'll see. But other than that, until next time.
Until next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.